Honorable Rectors, members of the Board of Trustees, President of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics, faculty, graduates, and their families, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AXA Auditory. It's a great pleasure for us to host your graduation in this beautiful building whose avant-garde design has turned the Laïlla complex into emblematic reference of Barcelona. This is your home. I would also like to thank the Barcelona GSA for giving me the opportunity to address you today and reiterate how AXA Spain and AXA Research Fund are committed with this institution and your education. Today is a great opportunity to celebrate the culmination of your hard work and merits. Now, you are the beginning of a new period of your life, new, exciting, and passionate. You are young, highly qualified, and with a healthy ambition. Probably, you are the highest qualified generation ever. Your contribution certainly has been very important for the society of today and tomorrow. You have a great responsibility and a journey full of challenges. I'm convinced that you will know how to deal with it. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you, Josep. And thanks, AXA, for hosting us one more year. This is a very special occasion for all of you and for all of us, too. 1 year goes very fast, but 1 year you will remember all your life. For what you have done in terms of studying, learning, acquiring new knowledge, but also acquiring new friends. People that you will be in touch, hopefully for all your life, but for sure you're going to be in touch with quite a few of all of you. And that's very important. This is a very international community. This year is 225 of you graduating, half of you here, from 54 different countries. And this has been like this in this, you are the 11th cohort, 11th generation of the Barcelona GSE, and we had pretty much a similar record in previous years of internationalization. This means that all around the world, you have a chance to find some alumni of the Barcelona GSE, even if it's a very young school and organization. It's not only 1 year, but also it's what happens afterwards. And we are very proud that, for example, of the last year, and that's not unusual, after 6 months, 92% of them, they are all plays. 24% in academic positions and 76% more in professional ones. In your case, the balances will be even more on the professional side. So I think that that's a very important part of the record. Here, and I want to thank all the parents who are joining and friends, all of you, they made a decision, also I'm sure, to give you support. And it was the right decision. It's an investment on your, what we call economists, human capital. And this is something that nowadays more and more we have to know, to combine some level of specialization, but also from the flexibility to solve all kinds of different problems. And that's what is appreciated in the professional world, but also in the research. Those things are very similar. You need to know how to solve problems, be creative, and you also need to know how to behave and work in a group. And for most of the time, I'm sure you had to spend nights and times with some of your friends, solving problems or who knows what. So I think those are things which are of great value. I hope you had a little time also to enjoy Barcelona. It's a great city. And you also will come back. So I don't want to go further because I think what we want to go ahead with all the things we need to do today. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce you to Quim Faura. He's the Director General of Telefónica of Catalonia. He has a very long professional international career as a Director General in firms as, you will know of them, Chupa Chups, of Sarali Corporation in Spain, or PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, and so on. But since 2001, he's been working with Telefónica. Telefónica is a leading firm not only for the telephones, of course, but on supporting research. And that's something we're also very keen and proud. Both AXA is, an insurance company international. I have my car insurance in AXA, yeah. But also they do a lot of support of research. And I think this is a combination that for us is very valuable. In particular, in the case of data science, that's been a lot of links and cooperation. So I think it's not just the professional experience of a leading company, but a company that does service to society, but also looking ahead in doing research and finding new ways in new technologies. So it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Bona tarda, en català, no? Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, members of Barcelona School of Economics, proud parents and friends, and above all, graduates. Thank you for the honor of being today with you in this special day. Congratulations to all of you graduates. I've been thinking a lot about what to tell you on this special day, and came to my mind a sentence of Maya Angelou, is a singer, writer, and civil activist, but don't be scared, a civil activist, that says, people can forget what you said. People can forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So that's what I will try to do today. Let's see if I can get it. No? I don't know if you realize that today you are graduating in this great School of Economics, and by doing that, you are closing a very important part of your life and starting a new one. You all have dedicated a lot of time and efforts to get here, so I want to recognize, together with your teachers, parents, family, and friends, with this great achievement, I am sure that they all have given you all kind of help and support. But now is your time. Now is only you alone only you can open this new door that is waiting for you. That's your mission, and at the same time, your privilege. Everything that will happen from now on, it's under your own responsibility. It's your own path, believe me. It's not written yet. You may think it is. You may have a plan, or you may have even a dream. But you will see that life will always go ahead of you. It's a long time since I finished my university studies, or my MBA, and I remember that time with many questions and very few answers. In fact, sometimes things happen without knowing exactly the reason why. In my case, when I was 14, a psychologist came to our school. At that age, I'd never seen a psychologist physically, so I saw only in the TV, etc. So They came to our school and gave us a test. The result was that the psychologist recommended to my parents that I should do letters. Letters at that time meaning literature, history, and what was worse, Latin and ancient Greek. And there I go. So when I finished the school, I didn't know what to do. What I do with that? Most of my best friends wanted to be lawyers. So I decided to do the same. Why not? Big mistake. I did not like that at all. I was only studying to get approved, to pass the examination. So I didn't want to understand or to know about the subjects. Right or wrong, I managed to finish. So here I am, 23, 24 years old, without having the more remote idea of what to do next. I only knew one thing, what I don't wanted to do, anything but be a lawyer. So that was important, at least something was. By chance, a friend of mine one day was going to do a test, similar to what today is the GMAT, in the ISE, to enter to the MBA. So I said, why not? I go with you. I did the test and I approved. From that day on, my life changed completely. I liked it a lot, all what was hearing there. I found something that really motivated me to learn about all the subjects, the teachers, and everything. So for first time in my life, I studied to know that specific subject, without caring about the qualification. And from that day on, I did not finish it learning. It was very difficult for me because all my colleagues were economists, engineers, and all the science. Easy for them to learn about finance, about accounting, but for somebody who did not learn any math since 14 years old, was extremely difficult, but I was enjoying so much that with double effort and a lot of persistence and the help of many colleagues, I managed not only to pass the examination, or pass or approve, no, but in most cases have very good qualifications because I love it so much. I started my first jobs in multinational consumer goods companies such as Gillette in Spain and in Germany. I was not speaking German, by the way. I am not speaking German. Sara Lee Corporation, PepsiCo, and PepsiCo Frito-Lay, with the exception of a family-owned company, Chupa Chups. They hired me to introduce Chupa Chups in the US, and it was similar to what today may call a startup of that era, and a startup. It was zero, so I was starting from zero in the United States. It was a very rich experience, family and professionally speaking. Finally, I was in El Cairo, Egypt, working in a project for PepsiCo Frito-Lay when César Alierta, at that time president of Tabacalera, is the leading tobacco company in Spain. It was, now it's merged with Imperial, called me to offer me to become general manager of cigarettes in Tabacalera. At that time, smoking was not so bad, not as today. So I accepted. And when he became president of Telefónica, I had the offer to be the responsible of the commercial and marketing side of Telefónica, and within Telefónica I have had different responsibilities. Up to now that I'm responsible for the Mediterranean area, so not only Catalonia, Valencia, Murcia, and Baleares. One day, my son, Kim Jr., asked me, please, Dad, tell me what are the things that I can learn from you to get where you have arrived professionally speaking. Maybe from what I said to him, there was something that impressed him the most. was my first reaction to the question. What do you mean? I did not arrive to any place yet. I was 63. I'm just starting. And that's 100% true. The day that I feel that I arrive to some place, maybe that day I will retire. Okay. Of course, there was other things that I explained to him that I will tell you and I am going to share with you, okay? One is that I said to him, well, you can add value always in all business or project of your professional career. No excuses for that. From a doorman to a president, each one can add different value. Differential value, and can create differential competitive advantage. And within that, there is no more than 4, 5 things that can dramatically change the progress of your company or your project. Do not get lost in the day-to-day. Focus deeply in these 4 or 5 big things. And let me tell you something about this. If I asked you, what is the differential competitive advantage that make Ferran Adrià become the #1 chef in the world during 5 years? What distinguished him from the second, the third, the 4, or the 5? No? Many people, when I ask this question, they answer creativity, they answer innovation. I said, why you say that? Why the second, the third, and the fourth didn't have that? Okay, maybe not as much, but more or less the same level, no? And I say, the thing that was more differential, one will say that, you'll say, oh, of course, is have time for thinking. What I mean by that? Time for thinking. The second, the third, the fourth restaurant had open all year round for lunch and dinner. El Bulli, de Ferran Adrià, was only open from April to October and only having dinner. What was Ferran and his team doing during the rest of the year? He was thinking in the menu of next year. He was developing all this deconstruction, espherification, and all that he invented, okay? And what was the difference then? What was the big difference? Time for thinking. Of course, if I ask to my president, José María Álvarez Pallete, well, give me 6 months and I will think about the plan, I am sure that he will fire me immediately, no? However, the time to think is something very important. It's essential to find these 4 or 5 things that may change dramatically your project. So the second one would be get time for thinking. Always get time for thinking. And thinking outside the box. You probably heard that. All Americans are very... But I always say, before that, you need to know and be sure that there is a box to think outside the box. Take all the time needed to understand thoroughly your company, competitors, market, customers, and more important than all of that, understand your non-customers, why they are not your customers. This is very important. Ecosystem, stakeholders, etc. Ignore that sentence that sometimes read in the gurus' books of business. If it is not broken, don't fix it. Didn't you hear that before? Then ignore it. Question always, more than ever, when things are going well. Have in your mind always the examples of Kodak, Nokia, BlackBerry, Blockbuster, and I could say a lot more. We're talking about companies that were leading his category, and today they have disappeared. 4, passion, love, and persistence in what you are doing. Your company, your products, your colleagues, even your bosses, sometimes it's difficult. But of course, be careful with this passion and love, because what happened to me that when I was hired in Tabacalera, I did not smoke. But finally, with this love, with the products, then I end up smoking. Okay, so it has to be a limit, I think, in this passion. No? The 5th would be surround yourself with best team, with the best team, people who is better than you in everything, and take time to take care of them, spoil them, love them, and get the best out of them. Results will come automatically. No fear to risk. Reward to those people in your team who have been wrong because they have taken a different path. And values, trust, loyalty, integrity, being social and environmentally responsible. But ladies and gentlemen, no sé si la traducción, hay otros mundos, pero no están en este. You know that there are other worlds and are not in these ones that we're talking. God has given me the best a man can wish. And besides everything, I love my family, my wife, sons, and now my grandchildren. Do not ever make mistakes, and do not let the ambition take over your real priorities. When I was your age, I thought I could plan life, but I discovered this is a lie. Life must be understood, not planned. And what we can do best is to live it through the values we choose as human beings. That's how we create destiny, choosing our values and actions, and destiny makes sense when we look back and see we have overcome a difficult path full of crossroads, and you still have to write most of the history of your life. And now the second part of my speech is to explain, is inspired of the president of Telefónica, those who knows a lot about that. He's doing a PhD on that. We are living in a great era where we can make great things. We are living, this is what you will find when you will get out there. We are living things that people from past never thought they could happen. It is possible to print human tissue with a 3D printer today. Today we can take advantage of intelligent sensors, machine learning, and ultra-broadband connectivity, making possible delivery fleets with autonomous vehicles and drones or taxis without driver. Today we can attend our clients with so perfect virtual assistants that emulate so good human interaction that you can make no difference between machines and human beings, and that is just the beginning of these changes. 5G, autonomous cars, the blockchain, artificial intelligence, or quantum computing are innovative technologies with a great potential, which suppose a great disruption never seen before. The scope of technology and its adoption rate are exponential. We have reached the highest economic level and standard of living. We are watching how the digitalization and technology disruption of all sectors and industries is becoming one of the worldwide trends that will determine the future. That's why artificial and cognitive intelligence and augmented or virtual reality, the language recognition and automatic learning algorithms are so relevant today. And this is interesting, I didn't know that. Our brain is composed by 86 billion neurons. Each of them is activated at a kilohertz. That means that our brain generates an average, the information equivalent to 40 films in high definition per second. The problem is that our voice is an imperfect compression algorithm, and it can only convert this amount of information at a speed of 40 or 60 bits per second. To say you a similar thing, remember you this bandwidth equivalent to the dial-up modems that we had in the year 80s, okay? This is this speed, 40 or 60 bits. But it has already a solution. We have today a solution. The interface between brain and computer or smartphones are being developed and translating this velocity that we thought that I was talking about the brain to text. And this could become a reality in less than 5 years. In the same period, 5G technology will be the standard one, which will multiply the speed by 100 and its capacity by 1,000, and what is more important, that will eliminate the latency. All that means is that autonomous cars or remote surgery will be real. This disruption is revolutionizing the business world, your world. Uber, the larger car company in the world, hasn't got any cars, no cars. Airbnb, the largest tourist accommodation company in the world, hasn't got any bedroom or apartment, zero. Alibaba, the largest retailer in the world, hasn't got any inventory or any warehouse. This is the world that you are going to find out there. The average life of the global companies in the 500 Standard & Poor's in the 60s was 65 years. Today is 15 years, very short. 5 of the largest companies of the world were in 2000 were industrial. Nowadays, you find there Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. All of them technological, none of them industrial. This is what you find in this world today. The information generated by all connected devices has an enormous potential, and we give an intelligent use, and if we give an intelligent use to all of that data by artificial intelligence and cognitive systems, we will solve education, health, energy, and transport problems with a very positive impact in people's life. I could be talking about that all the time, but I just wanted you to keep in mind this message. Such an accumulation of technology has never been before in human history. And every time that a revolution happened, the Bronze Age, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, the development of humanity has taken a huge jump, and significant changes in political and social systems have occurred. Technology emerged as a democracy, wellness, and progress engine. And we have enough reasons to think that a brilliant future is awaiting for us. However, we need to recognize that in today's connected world, not everything is acceptable. We must ask ourselves where we want to lead the society, or how we want to share the wealth in this new economy. We need values to do it, to build a better and fairer society that could allow a more balanced distribution of this wealth or richness. Technology also brings new ethics debates. Fake news spread over the world, transparency or respect in the social networks, genetic manipulation limits, the rules for autonomous cars, and above all, control and protection of personal data to guarantee security and privacy. The data traffic in our networks and also in the competitors' networks is increasing at a rate of more than 50% every year. Nowadays, more than half of the data traffic of these networks that I was talking about is not human. 50% is not human. It is generated by machines or bots. And more than half of this amount is generated by phishing, malware, or cybercrime. We cannot go against the technology because it's inevitable and potentially good for human beings, but we have to avoid a world without rules that endangers people. The new world demands to establish a new framework in the defense of the digital rights of individuals. Values, principles, what's acceptable and what is not. We must remember that, above all, there will always be the human beings. Because creativity, imagination, intuition, emotions, compassion, or ethic cannot be digitalized or automatized. Because machines will be able to simulate, but they will never be able to be. So far, humans had to learn machine languages. Now, machines must understand humans and speak our languages. The responsibility of all of that is in your hands. You were born in the technology era, and it's your world. You are not spectators. You will play a very important role in this transformation, and you'll have to choose which kind of society you want for your children. Which will be the limits? You will have to write this newborn world with different values. In these last years, I've seen many countries achieving great things. We have been able to create in our country, in my country, in Spain, GDP equivalent to the economies of Holland and Denmark. Holland and Denmark together. Our average income per capita has been multiplied by 15, reaching a level that have taken 118 years to United Kingdom and 88 years to USA. We have done it in less than a generation, improving our social benefits, multiplying by 11 our budget in health, and we have 8 times more university students. Today, we see as something common all that. We see as common that some Spanish football teams could be European world champions. I mean Barça, of course. But watching Nadal winning 11 times Roland Garros, or being the #1 in gymnastics, handball, basketball, skating, badminton, or motorbikes. In less than a generation, we have built a better country, and all these achievements seem normal, common, current for us today, at least for a generation like yours that you have not seen the other side. That required greatness and excellency for the moments when, for example, economy wasn't so good, greatness when the terrorists often hit us, greatness to cry for the victims, to honor them. We needed to see what is coming in our near future, but I recommend you not to do it alone. We need to accept that if we work together, we become stronger. The generation of my parents have done a great job. Our generation, my generation, has helped also to these achievements, but there is still a lot to do. These great achievements have led me, let me call it, side effects that should be corrected, and you will be in the center of these possible solutions. I am talking about the big gaps in world wealth and our planet health and sustainability. You will have better tools than our parents or even ourselves, and this is the new digital revolution that will help to do that. Each one from your own country should take the horizon further than where you found it. Here ends my message, but let me share with you a legend that I liked when I hear that lesson the first time, and I'm using with my team and on my conferences, once upon a time, there was 3 men chopping a stone. The all 3 were chopping the same stone, the same stone. You see, in Spain, when somebody is working in the street, there is more people watching and few people working. You should fix that too, okay? But that's the one that was looking at them, said, let's ask to the first one that was shopping. What are you doing, sir? And the first man answered, this is a disaster, a disaster. I am chopping this stone without the right tools. Always a splinter comes to my face. My boss is very bad. And I am being paid very little. Then they asked to the second chopper, sir, what are you doing? He was doing the same stone. Okay. He answered, I am doing what they have sent me to do. Chop a stone of these dimensions, 40 times 50 times 30, and I'm working from 9 to 6, and that's it. And finally, he asked to the third chopper that he seemed to do the same thing, but fell in love with what he was doing. Please, sir, can you tell me what are you doing? He was doing the same stone, but he answered, I am building a cathedral. So it depends on each of us to decide which is our perspective of life. And now my 3 wishes for you graduates of 2018. Today you are starting a new phase of your life, and I wish that you build your own path, that you live your life fully. I wish that you find your own braveness, that you face your life with accountability and values. They will give you the magical feeling that you are participating in something great. Finding your way only depends on your illusion and confidence, on your effort and work. It is not only sometimes about talent, it's about persistence and overcoming. Sometimes greatness is coming from very simple things, like when to say sorry, or when you accept by heart the apologies. Is being thankful with people who help us. And of course, the greatest greatness is to say, I love you to people you love. We all need to hear that. It always makes us better. I wish you can accomplish memorable achievements and that you make something even better than what's already good today. Class of 2018, I truly wish you that whatever you do in your life, you feel that you are building your cathedral. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you for your thoughtful and inspiring words. Barcelona Graduate School of Economics is a private foundation, and not only you have the masters, but it's built out of 2 universities, Universitat Pompeu Fabra and the Universitat Autònoma Barcelona. Also with the CSIC, Institut d'Anàlisi Econòmiques, and the CREI, those are the other research institutions. And that makes special Barcelona GSE from other places and the 4-year masters is the interaction between the education and research. We have very strong research group in economics, and when that's not something we just say it, it's a fact that we can just look at, because we are in a very large research area called the European Research Area, which includes the UK, of course, and we hope it will continue to be like this for a long time. And then, for example, People compete to get the European research grants. It's the most prestigious and difficult thing to get for research, and we are leading on this. With more than, we have 23 ERC grantees in the program. And we also have a very strong scientific council, as you can see in our webpage and so on. So today we have here the vice rectors for both universities, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce them. Cristina Gelpi from the Universitat Pompeu Fabra.
Well, thanks. It's working, yeah. Good evening. Hello, thanks. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to congratulate the new graduates, your families and friends, on behalf of Professor Jaume Casals, Rector of Universitat Pompeu Fabra. Congratulations then to all of you, and thank you for having chosen UPF and Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Our university is very proud to have contributed to the development of your talent here in Barcelona. 1 year ago, some of you were probably obtaining your visa, your student visa, legalizing your great transcripts, getting your certificate of residence, the famous Padró, or applying for the NIE, and some of you were here in Catalonia, while others were working somewhere else. You worked hard, and you have got your diploma, and now, after this year you have spent in Barcelona, you are going back to your countries, or you are going to other countries where different job positions were waiting for you. Let me just a few words in Catalan, because formeu part d'una universitat amb vocació internacional arrelada a Catalunya. Esperem que el vostre pas per la Universitat Pompeu Fabra us hagi servit per millorar les vostres competències i per assolir els objectius que us veu plantejar. Esperem que la vostra estada hagi estat profitosa i que més enllà de les activitats del màster que heu cursat, us hagueu sentit part de la comunitat UPF. La Universitat Pompeu Fabra és una bona universitat i, com sabeu, alguns rànquings ens situen com una de les millors universitats joves d'Europa. N'estem orgullosos, i molt, però no en tenim prou. Aspirem a ser la millor universitat possible i per això us necessitem, perquè els graduats i graduades per la Universitat Pompeu Fabra en sou els millors ambaixadors. Per això us demanem que no oblideu Barcelona i aquesta fantàstica universitat, i més enllà del tòpic que diem en tots els actes de graduació, que quan un estudiant ha passat per la universitat no l'abandona mai més, jo us demano que no abandoneu la UPF i que en continueu formant part. I aquesta universitat i Barcelona sempre seran casa vostra. L'enhorabona.
Carles Gispert.
Thank you. Good afternoon, authorities, students, families, professors, everybody. I'm delighted and grateful for having the opportunity to participate in this nice, this emotive, and well-deserved event, and do it as an institutional representative of Autonomous University of Barcelona. I can see that you are many people and from many different countries, that you have met here for sharing a mutual goal. I know that during this year you have worked together, you have fought and suffered and enjoyed it together, and this makes a special connection, a special link for the lifetime. Today you celebrate that you have finished a very demanding and strict master studies, and you have completed it with success. I think that you took an important decision when decided to enroll in a master of Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Probably you applied the fundamentals of decision theory, evaluating the different options and choose this master using a valid and scientific criterion. Congratulations, it was the right decision. Today, if you look back, you are more mature, more trained, more open-minded, more competent. Today, you are better prepared for holding high-level positions in companies and institutions, for exercise leadership, for improving the world through your work and talent. This implies a huge responsibility because many people will trust you. Your opinions and decisions will be heard and followed. But don't feel under pressure. You are well prepared for this, and with this preparation and your strong will, you'll overcome all the challenges you find and fulfill the expectations of the society. All that you have learned in the master will always remain inside you and will help you to fit in a world that changes faster and faster. Will help you to have criteria, to better evaluate your decisions and to progress individually as professional. You already know that the job market is there and the beginning is often complicated, needs sacrifice, but all of you are strong people with deep foundations, and everything that you take now from these institutions will remain with you forever. Finally, and again, congratulations for your success completing this degree, and we encourage you to keep in touch and feel part of a community that will always welcome and pay attention to you. Good luck and be happy.
And now, Joan Rubio will call for the awarding of the diplomas. Before we have?
So we're almost done. Congratulations again, students. So let's now see what has happened in data science this year. Ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate the graduates from the Data Science program. Guillem Bagaria, Camila Carlos, Michelle Costa, Emily Daikin, Alessandro De Sanctis. Travis Dunlop, Niklas Fischer, Juan Sebastián García Rodríguez, Joan Gasull Jolis, Matthew Keys. Richard Ole Knudsen, Jie Hao Kwa, Jordi Llorenç, Lauritz Marshall, Seyed Hamed Misadeghi. And finally, Jan Rademacher, Kinga Rita, Amy Zhang. Thank you, data science. Congratulations. So now let's take a look at what has happened at the master's degree in specialized economic analysis, and we start with the competition program. So, congratulations, Salomon Becerra, Lizzie Coate, Matthew Cooper, David Fina, Carlos Javier Galván. Luke Gardner, Daniel Granja, Samantha Catalina Guerrero, Stephanie Jobaike, Shukia Yumane Quiroga. And finally, for competition, Josep Peya, Ezequiel Romero Gómez, Alexis Salazar, Hilaria Tucci. Congratulations, competition. So now let's see what has been the year for economics of public policy. I need to remember that the song has been chosen by the students, okay? Just in case, just in case. I've seen some hard study here, some hard study. Livia Bakari, Nikhil Suresh Butada, Samila Chaudhuri, Karina Colombo, Rob Daniel. Alicia de Quinto Notario, Hazel Karina Eliondo, Diego Tomás Escalera, Sandra Paola Flores, Lena Lichtaig. Gabriel Lora, Zoran Mehadji, Marc Miró, Daniel Müller-Demary, Francesco Principe. And finally, for public policy, Eric Erlindo, Ramirez Diaz, Julia Schivardi, Shafin Shabir, Muhammad Tahani. Thank you, public policy. So now let's take a look at what has been the life for ITFD this year. So for ITFD, Hannah Anderson, Javier Baraybar Molina, Gabriel Bucaram, Victoria Bufalari, Platon Kandel. Georgia Conte, Debshika Deb, Manon Delvaux, Ferran Esquius, Elena Fernández Ortiz. Pedro Franca, Nils Handler, Ana Fabiola Icumina, Claudia Illa Guix, Betsy Infante. Sam Jones, Brad Kester, Carl Christian Kons, Anania Mahayan, Siuzeta Martirosian. Richard Blake Miller, Christopher Nance, Maria Oliva, Murat Özgültekin, Jonathan Ostung. Niklas Pape, Vladimir Pesiar, Nadezhda Pozdniakova, Casey Prendushi, Ksenia Proka. Alba Pujals Garcia, Pamela Ramos Blanco, Débora Reina, Arevik Sargzian, Roberta Sgariglia. Antonina Sinkovskaya, Minea Stefan, Juliana Stolle, Krishna Tewari, Catherine Thomas. And finally, for ITFD, Giulia Tossetti, Mariona Tres, Nikita Tour, Marta Villa Ziziewan. Thank you, ITFD, and congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. So let's see what has been the year for the macro program. So help me congratulating the macro students, Francesco Amodio, Tristan Armangué, Maximilian Bastian, Siebrand Breckelmans, Mercedes María Gómez Urda. Elliot Matthew Jones, Ksenia Kochlolova, Stamatia Kontopoulou, Marcos McMullen, Oscar Eduardo Muñoz. And finally, for macro, Guillermo Sanz, Luca Tomasetti, Rodrigo Tranamil, Rafael Zanderer, Steven Zapata, Alan Jair Gallardo Benítez. Thank you to everybody and congratulations.
Thanks, Joan. Congratulations. Now you got your master's degree. And now it's also time to thank on your behalf and also on my behalf. First of all, to the parents and other people who have supported you. So please give them the thanks. But also to the faculty. Those are the ones who have been working all this time. Of course, you have to work for them quite a lot too. But in any case, they had done something. And in particular, the staff of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics, starting by the director, Teresa Garcia Milà, and the associate deans, Ada Ferrer Carbonella and Julian Di Giovanni. So thanks to them. And you might have not noticed, but now you have become alumni of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. So we're going to have a short speech by an alumni representative. So please, Daniele Altimoni. Alimonti, scusa.
No,
Scusa.
no problema. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Buenas tardes, señores y señores. Buona tarda, señores y señoras y señores. My name is Daniele. I come from Italy, and I'm currently working at Universitat Pompeu Fabra as a researcher or junior economist. First of all, I'd like to thank Barcelona GSE faculties and members of the staff for today's invitation. I'm very grateful to be here today to give this short speech in quality of alumnus. Indeed, I graduated in 2016 in Economics of Public Policy, and also in quality of representative of the alumni community of BGSE in Barcelona, together with two friends, Ilaria and Thomas. Before getting started, I just want to say that my speech is going to overlap with the one of Mr. Faura and with some words of Professor Marimon, but I swear we didn't copy each other. I was supposed to stand here today together with my brother Roberto, who studied at BGSE before me, but he couldn't get away from his job. He sends his congratulations to you. To honor his absence today, I'm going to talk about how important it is to find inspiration in someone and being supported by these people. I will talk about two qualities I developed thanks to my brother that I find extremely pertinent in this context. You know, Roberto, as an older brother, has been my role model throughout my life, and I'm very, very lucky, and I feel very lucky about this, and he knows how grateful I am to him. The first quality is determination. Determination is the process of establishing something exactly. Of course, in a highly dynamic environment such as the world of higher education or the job market, it is very difficult to decide upon something with absolute firmness. It would mean being able to set the rules of the game in every circumstance, which is extremely difficult. The kind of determination I'm referring to is our own ability of screening alternatives and fixing priorities in a rational way, and then keeping the tension constant on the final objective. Is having the ambition to achieve a goal, the ability of rolling up your sleeves and work hard. This is connected with the second virtue, which is persistence. Persistence is the fact of continuing in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. I remember a text message I got from him the night before I started a master at BGSE. He was using the analogy of a marathon to explain me once more that there are achievements in life that can be obtained by keeping a steady pace. He made me aware about how challenging were going to be problem sets and lectures, how difficult was going to be sitting down all day studying. He invited me to think about my own path without getting frustrated over other people. He stressed out the importance of preserving the right attitude no matter the task I was working on. In July 2016, I successfully completed the master program in economics of public policy, and new challenges were waiting for me already. The knowledge I acquired during the year of master and my set of skills, coupled with the constant support of people who love me, allowed me to face the difficult job market and the difficult job search, and to keep up the right attitude in my day-to-day life while working or doing personal activities or hobbies. Looking at you today, sitting down in the chairs I was sitting a couple of years ago, clearly tells me that I'm in front of very talented people. You were all determined when you decided to undertake this year of master, and you were all persistent during the program. Well done. But let me play the role of the older brother just for a minute and tell you that this day is not the end of the race. This is just an aid station where you can eat and drink to keep running at your own pace. The race is still long and full of obstacles, but I'm sure that thanks to your talent, you're going to achieve your life goals. Class 2018, I'm happy to congratulate you on this very important day of your life and to welcome you in the alumni community. You proved to be excellent students with wide knowledge and with fundamental abilities needed to overcome such a complex challenge. But try not to forget the important role of the people who inspired you and supported you, especially throughout this year of master. Not to forget those phone calls to your parents, to your brother or sister, to your friends, to your partner in a bad day. The text messages exchanged before or after an exam, all those moments away from the books and from the problem sets that you could enjoy with them. In thanking all of you for your attention, I would like to ask you to stand up and give to the people who are here today and to those who couldn't fly away from home a warm round of applause. Thank you, and congratulations.
And now, one of you, Catalina Guerrero from the programming competition.
Hi, I am a little bit nervous, but I already got my diploma, so nothing can go wrong. I will say some kind of jokes. You can laugh. It will be very helpful. So, good evenings, parent, faculty, classmates, and friends. My name is Catalina, and for the last year, I have had the pleasure of being a student representative of the Competition and Market Regulation Program. However, today I'm honored to deliver this speech in representation of the GSE Class 2018. First, we would like to thank the families and friends gathered here today. We know that these past 10 months have also been difficult for you. Many times you called to see how we were, and maybe we did not reply your messages. You were worried, wondering if we were eating or sleeping well. Some of you even opened an Instagram account just to see if we were still alive. The good news is that most of those times we did not reply was because we forgot to update the UPF event password. Yes, we ate well, if coffee is considered food. And yes, we got the chance to rest, but only after 3 a.m. when the library closed. And judging by the color of our tan, you can be sure we were studying, not in the beach. We are very grateful because we know it has been hard for you to deal with the distance and exam traumas. We thank you for your support throughout this journey. Also, we would like to take a moment to thank all the GSE staff. Without them, we would not have had the fun we had this year. They made us feel welcome and part of the community. In our lowest moments, they were our companions. They nourished us with paellas and fidewas. They took care of our health and organized a hike and a futsal tournament. Like our friends and family, they worried about our social life, and organized a New Year's party near the beach. And also, they introduced us to one of the most famous Catalonian traditions, the calçotada. For some of us, they were our psychologists and helped us choose the right career path, or offered calming words. And obviously, we would not be here without the rock stars of the GSE, our professors. We are very grateful for all those times you over-explained because you knew that even though we said we understood, our faces said the contrary. And I must admit, I was very excited the first time I saw you in the metro, or walking home, or eating in the cafeteria. Then they make it so easy to make it short the distance between professors and students. And actually, the learning process was more engaging. Thank you very much. Oh, and you're the coolest people ever. I still remember the first day we arrived at school. The GSE staff had organized an activity for us to meet each other. In 1 hour, I met the most diverse kind of people I had ever met, from different nationalities, and even someone without Facebook. It was also then that I realized the unique opportunity I had, first, of living in this amazing city, and then studying in one of the top economic research centers of Europe. However, most important, the opportunity I had to meet so many young minds that now I call my friends, that had the desire and willingness to change the world. At the end of the day, that is what economics is all about, and what economists try to solve: how to allocate in the most efficient way the scarce resources we have. That is why we're studying different specialization, because we want to contribute from distinct approaches. And I do believe now is the perfect moment to study economics. World problems, as all of you have mentioned, are more complex, and solutions need to be more creative, and economic analysis more specialized. That's why today, we're celebrating the graduation of the master programs of specialized economic analysis, and of course, data science. So I talked to some of the student representatives, so they told me kind of stuff that happened in your programs, and I want to address you. For the students of international trade, finance, and development, don't be worried. All of us know what ITFD stands for. And as many of you have told me, you are just a couple of courses away from getting a master's in economics. So maybe you should stay at the other graduation ceremony and ask for your diploma. You can have both diplomas. To my friends of economics of public policy, you are the group of most dedicated people I have known, always challenging the TA and making such interesting questions. Your presence at Citadela campus was missed in the second term, but at least the macro students were not alone anymore. We know that you didn't miss us that much. You were using your spare time to learn to play cricket and enjoying the Nespresso coffee machine. And I'm sure all of you will reach the stars. Maybe not in all your regressions, but all of you will achieve great things. For the macro students, I'm so sorry for you, because you were suffering with your beautiful gardens and your own story room in Bellaterra. We also know that you are very good futsal players. It is a shame that you didn't have a chance to play with the professors. I know you could have won. But in consolation, we know how much you play with those fiscal policy models, and probably you also won. Definitely, the trend this program is data science, with your own Wi-Fi and classroom. All those days when the EduRAM network was down, I envied data science students. But I really admire your ability to understand the world through a quantitative vision. The output of your work is translated into a better way to understand how the economic world works, and will help companies, governments, and policymakers to take better and more informed decisions. And last but not least, competition and market regulation. My family for the past months. Not everything in this program was eating the food of the coffee breaks or participating in Instagram contests. Actually, throughout the year, we learned how to shape a more competitive environment, which eventually lead to increase in social welfare. Personally, I feel great responsibility because I had the opportunity to learn from the best professors. Now, it is my chance to turn all these ideas and learnings into practice. And now there is a challenge all of the programs had, and that English is our second language. But surprisingly, even the native English speakers struggled. But at the end, we made it work, and now all of us can differentiate between the pronunciation of microeconomics and macroeconomics. To conclude, I would like to remind everyone what the GSE represents for the world. In these moments, when many around the world want to build borders, this school is teaching us to break our mental barriers to entry. While data is becoming the most valuable asset, the GSE is teaching us to use it to create welfare and equality. Where many want to see the end of trade and exchange of ideas, the GSE is opening its doors to a flow of brilliant minds all over the world. In these moments where inequality is high on people's minds, the GSE is teaching us to make inclusive policies to promote welfare for all. This is why I am proud to say I am a Barcelona GSE graduate. And in the moment this ceremony finishes, we will be closing a chapter on the GSE history, and we will be opening a new one as alumni. Congratulations, class 2018. We did it.
And let's celebrate downstairs for a cup of cava and something else. So congratulations to all of you.
Honorable rectors, members of the Board of Trustees, President of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics, faculty, graduates, and their families, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AXA Auditory. It is a great pleasure for us to host your graduation in this beautiful building, whose avant-garde design has turned the Laia complex into emblematic reference of Barcelona. This is your home. I would also like to thank the Barcelona GSA for giving me the opportunity to address you today and reiterate how AXA Spain and AXA Research Fund are committed with this institution and your education. Today is a great opportunity to celebrate the culmination of all your hard work and merits. Now you are at the beginning of a new period of your life, new, exciting, and passionate. You are young, healthy, qualified, and with a healthy ambition. Probably you are the highest qualified generation ever. Your contribution, it certainly will be very important to the society today and tomorrow. You have a great responsibility and a journey full of challenges. I'm convinced that you will know how to deal with it. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
Gracias. Thank you, Josep. And thanks to AXA and also to all our sponsors and members of the board. And welcome. Today is a very special day. You know that. And time sometimes is intense, sometimes it's sort of boring and monotone. Something that defines intense time is that you look back and it seems that it's a long time ago that when you started. On the other hand, it has went very fast. So this combination of going fast because you realize, whoa, that's it. On the other hand, you look back and many things have happened during this year. In terms of working hard, but also on knowing people from many nationalities. This year, 225 of you are graduating, half of you are here, the other half I just did it, and from 54 different countries. So that's very international. And that has been like this since we had started. You are the class of 2018, the 11th of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics, which is a very young organization. Nevertheless, now you can find alumni in many places in the world. Not only that, something that we value a lot, and I think is important for you, is that if we look just the previous year, after 6 months, 92% of them are placed with a job, 70-something% in professional, and 24% more in academic. But that's your choice. So I think that's a unique experience. That you will take it with you. I hope you had time also to enjoy a little Barcelona. It's a unique city. So I'm sure you will come back again. So I'm very pleased that you are here and thankful to all that have made this possible. Your family, some of you are here. And I just don't want to go further. And I'm very pleased that Raimundo Pérez Hernández, which is director of the Ramon Areces Foundation, is with us. Muchas gracias por venir. The Areces Foundation is a leading institution in supporting research in social science. And he has a long experience, not only now as director, but also in international. He's a diplomatic in career, so both in the United Nations, in the European Union, in many different positions. So he has a broad perspective on the world, and you guys are a very international community, so we are very pleased to have him.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, let me, I didn't know exactly that I was speaking in English, so I prepared my notes in Spanish, but I will test my abilities in translating off the cuff. Thank you very much, Professor Marimon.
We have the Google Translator.
No. I have forgotten a lot, but not so much, I hope. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It's a great pleasure, a great honor. I also want to say hello to Professor Masculey and Professor García Montalvo, who is a member of our advisory committee on social sciences, and who is a very dear friend. And thanks again to the Pompeu Fabra University, with which we have a collaboration agreement. Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I have today a triple hat. The first one is an old one, which was my diplomatic career, in which I had the honor of being Spanish ambassador to the United Nations, among other embassies. And there I discovered, and that's why I'm mentioning it, there I discovered, I was elected when I was in Geneva, I was elected chairman of the executive committee of UNHCR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. And the day after I was elected, the Kosovo refugee crisis exploded in my hands. So I had to learn very quickly what the whole thing was about. And the only conclusion I drew from that is that I discovered a world that I didn't know, the world of NGOs, the world of foundations, and the world of civil society helping and trying to help others. I don't mean to say that the diplomatic usual activity doesn't help others, but when you have such a post, you really see that what you are doing is useful for something and for people. And that was a high motivation, which explained why some years later, exactly 10 years ago, I accepted the post of being Director General of the Fundación Ramon Areces. My lecture or my conversation today will have two main chapters. I will, through explaining you very briefly what the Foundation Ramon Areces does, I want to draw some other general conclusions as far as the larger world of foundation is concerned. My third hat, by the way, is that I'm responsible for international relations in the Spanish Associations of Foundations, which comprises some 2,000 foundations. There are in Spain around 11,000 foundations. We are second to Germany only in Europe, many different types of foundations, but they have a unique character. They are trying to help. They are interpreting the possibilities that civil society at large can do to help others. Now, three ideas to start very quickly. First, that there is a growing process of sensitization of the Spanish society to science and scientific policy and support to science. That was not the case. There was a famous sentence some years ago, que inventen ellos, let the others invent, which was said by a well-known Spanish intellectual, but which didn't translate exactly the needs we have today. The second general consideration is that the world, the surroundings surrounding science are very complex. You have the state, you have the public institutions, you have private enterprises, you have foundations which have a growing role, you have research institutes. There are many interlocutors, And there you can immediately say, when you are in the middle of that, that there is a need and growing need of coordination. I would say in Spain and probably also elsewhere. This was proved by the economic crisis that this country suffered some years ago, in which there were several budgetary cuts, and there was one of the main topics in the world of foundations, which was the subsidiarity quarrel. If the state allows less and less possibilities for grants, for needs, for research, do foundations have the obligation of filling that gap? Well, there were two theories about that. One is that foundations have to do what they have to do, no matter what happens in the public policy. That is a line of thought. And the other line of thought, which I subscribe, was that somehow or other we had to help and fill in the gap, although we couldn't fill the entire gap, but try to help more. That's what we did. So that was a proof for foundations to demonstrate that they were increasingly helpful to society. We increased the number of grants, we increased the number of projects, of research projects to be financed. We tried to help and put our hands there. Now, Fundación Ramón Areces, you possibly, most of you do not know what it is. It is, I think, a well-established scientific foundation created by the founder of El Corte Inglés. I'm sure you know what El Corte Inglés is. It was founded 40 years ago, and the owner and the founder, Don Ramón Areces, gave all his patrimony, all his money to create this foundation, which has a scientific DNA. We are a non-profit, of course, organization, and we do three things. We finance research projects, we give grants, and we hope to contribute to disseminating knowledge by organizing conferences, scientific meetings, etc., etc. Finally, we also try to help institutions that have had very, very many difficulties in the crisis and that really need some help. I'm thinking, my friends in the table will know of, for example, Royal Academies that really have problems in getting finance, and we try to help. Finally, the foundation works on the one side on the scientific field, science of life and matter, and on the other hand on social sciences. But we have now also increased our activity in humanities, trying to translate into practice this transversality principle that is now very much in fashion, which brings the fact that, for example, business analytics firms are hiring philosophers or lawyers because they think that the contribution can be of help to the work. We have financed over 140 projects. We have had 90 events at our siege, mainly in Madrid. And finally, we have a solid, I think, solid activity, which is based basically on two principles. First, excellence. We try to work only with the best, as far as we can. And secondly, we try to bring to Spanish society the state of the art, the vanguard, the latest knowledge that is being created in the world. For that, we have a system of alliances. Just being in Catalonia, being in Barcelona, we have a strategic alliance with the Fundación Maragall of fight against Alzheimer. We have a strategic alliance with Pompeu Fabra. We have a strategic alliance with many other Catalan institutions. And I take the opportunity of recognizing, as I said to Professor Mascolell some minutes ago, that Barcelona is becoming one of the leading centers in scientific research and scientific activity, not only in Spain, but in Europe and the world. So I really pay tribute to the effort that is being done in this city and in this region. The third and final point of my activity, now you know what we are doing, but what are the new issues that we are trying to put in place and that somehow explain what the foundations are doing, not only mine, but many others. The basic principle is that on one side, because of your status, you have to obey to the will of the founder. And the founder said we have to do this, this, and this, what I described to you before, and we are faithful to the founder's will. But on the other side, that will was created some 40-odd years ago and the world has evolved a lot. And so we have to modernize and adapt ourselves to the needs of the modern world. So that equilibrium between tradition and modernity has to be duly managed, but that's what we're trying to do. Now, what are the new issues that we are fighting for, and that in some respect are not only made by the Fundación Ramón Areces, but many other foundations? First is the digitalization. We have done a very big effort and very costly effort to digitalize our foundation. That has had two main directions. One, we have digitalized all the scientific knowledge that had been produced in the foundation in the last 40 years. And that was a lot. That was over 50, 60 research projects a year and around 90 scientific meetings or conferences. That creates a lot of knowledge. For example, to tell you an example, in the last 2 months, we have had 4 Nobel Prize winners at the foundation, which have delivered lectures, which were of an outstanding excellence. And if we don't put them on the web or we don't digitalize them, this knowledge is lost. So we have done an awful effort in that respect. The other, as many others, that is no news, but we have digitalized all our working procedures. If you ask for a grant from the Ramón Areces Foundations, and we give almost 100 a year, you just have to dial and make a procedure which is in the web, and nobody else intervenes. It's a dialogue between you and the web. The second effort has been internationalization. As a former diplomat, I like to distinguish between international activity and internationalization. We had a lot of international activity when we give grants mainly to US or European universities, or where we bring speakers from all over the world. We are certainly doing an international activity. But internationalization, nunca me sale bien, internationalization is something more, is a bit more. It's to work together hand in hand with another institution of the world. And that's what we are trying to do. And for example, we have created a network of alliances with institutions of international excellence. We have an agreement with the London School of Economics, by which we have 4 master classes a year at the foundation, by which we have the best experts in the London School of Economics who regularly talk to us and teach us about the main issues. The last one was pensions. We had the best expert of the LSE talking about pensions at the foundation. By the way, everything is available at the web. Now the next one, we will have one about cybersecurity, which is one of the leading topics in big industrial groups. So we have there, and we do those things together. We decide them together. We finance them. Well, we finance more than together, but we try to work together. We have another with the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, by which it's odd, but a Spanish foundation finances research projects in Boston, and the MIT, on the way back, sends us their best experts on, again, the most important topics that are to be presented to the Spanish society. We have another one with the Institute Weizmann of Israel, one of the leading scientific institutes in the world. We have another one with the Wharton School of Business. Being a retail group like is El Corte Inglés, and we are the foundation of El Corte Inglés, an alliance with the most important, or one of the most important business institutes in retail is of paramount importance. In fact, we do have a chair of retail in Oviedo, which is one of the very, very few that exist in Spain, and which is doing a remarkable work. And finally, we have the jewel of the crown is the final agreement we have reached with the Nobel Prize Foundation. Nobel Foundation, no prize, Nobel Foundation, by which we will have next year in Madrid an international scientific conference on the future of aging, which is a topic of actuality, and the future that will bring 7 to 8 Nobel Prize winners to Madrid. We'll have a succession of roundtables in which the most important speakers in Spain, in the world, and the Nobel Prize winners will debate about everything that is related to the future of aging, pensions, sociology, demography, health, and all the rest of it. We hope that this will be, hopefully, a big success. Another feature which we have supported a lot is the support to Spanish scientists abroad. It all started 5-6 years ago when a colleague of mine of the embassy in London phoned me and said, "You want to finance a web page for this Spanish scientists in Britain?" I said, "You're out of your mind, or what? Do you think that I'm going to spend 10,000 euros like that?" Then I thought about it and I said, well, it's not so idiot. Well, the end result is that there are 17 associations of Spanish scientists across the world. By the way, the one of the United Kingdom has already 700. And tomorrow at my foundation, they are all meeting to create an association of Spanish scientists around the world. We are financing the association in the US, in Britain, in Germany, in Sweden, wherever. We are financing most of them. And I think that is an interesting development for Spanish scientists, because we do interpret that support to science is support to scientists. After all, it's men and women who do the work. And we can fill our mouth with, we support science, we give this and that, but in the end, you have to support individual people, those who are in the trenches and that are doing the work. So we are tomorrow they will create their World Association, and we are very happy that this initiative has come to a good end. We are also supporting a new concept in Spanish foreign policy, which is, which is scientific diplomacy. I remember that when I was ambassador to CERN, which is one of the most important institutions in physics in the world, I asked for instructions, like a good ambassador, to Madrid, and I said, what am I going to say in the council, which is the day after tomorrow? And nobody answered me. Nobody knew a word of what was to be said at that meeting. So I said, okay, we have a need there, we have a gap. And well, finally we created a mechanism by which we could defend the position of our country. This scientific diplomacy has now a big role to play in Spain, hopefully, and we are waiting to see what the new Minister of Science will have to tell us and instructions to give. Finally, there is another initiative which is very Spanish, if you allow me, which is the support to the Spanish language in science. It is absolutely clear that science is carried out in English. Nobody would deny that, and that's so far so good. We're all very happy. But there are still spaces and needs in particular segments of science that have to be carried out, hopefully in Spanish. For example, this initiative has been carried out in the medicine world. There are many scientific terms which are explained in English that a doctor of Murcia or of Guatemala does not have to know necessarily. And we are trying to help them translation, making dictionaries. We are trying to help a bit the affirmation of the language for the benefit of the Spanish or Latin American community. Finally, as a conclusion, the ideas I would retain is first, that foundations are strategic agents for the development of science, technology, and innovation. Foundations are not that well known, but I assure you, they are 1% of the Spanish GDP, by the way. I assure you, sooner or later, all of you will come into contact with foundations, and the more you know about them, the better it will be. We are trying also as Fundación Ramón Areces to be a foundation of reference for other institutions in Spain. We hope to be successful there. As Santiago Ramón y Cajal, a Nobel Spanish Prize winner, said, ideas dure very little. We have to do something with them. We have to put them with good use. And finally, I think as far as Spain is concerned, the most important conclusion of all is that finally, I think, hopefully, Spanish society has come to the conclusion that support to science will be one of the most important vectors in the establishment of a new productive model in Spain. Perhaps not so dependent on tourism, not so dependent on building, on housing, but more dependent on talent. And to be successful in that vector, you have to support talent, and you have to support the people who make the talent, that is to say, the scientists. Thank you very much.
Thank you, muchas gracias. The talent is with us today, so we are in the right way. The Barcelona GSE, it's formed based on two universities, leading universities, Universitat Pompeu Fabra and the Universitat Autònoma of Barcelona, and two research centers, the Institute of Analysis of Economics of the CSIC and CREI. And that's something makes very special Barcelona GSE, because the combination of education and programs, but also of research. Raimundo was saying just right now, we are a leading institution in research, and you can measure this in many ways. One of them is the number of people who get European research grants. That's very competitive in the whole what is called European research area, which includes UK, of course, and we expect that will stay with us on that. And many other activities that we have. We just had the Barcelona Summer Forum, which brings a lot of people here from all over the world. So Barcelona GSE is known in research, and it's known also in the programs. As I said before, we have many now, for just having been around for 11 years, graduates, alumni. And I think they were very thankful of this institutional framework that has made it the possibility of developing the institution. So I'm pleased that we have both vice-rectors of the Universitat Pompeu Fabra and the Universitat Autònoma of Barcelona with us. Cristina Gelpi of Pompeu Fabra.
Many thanks, and good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to congratulate the new graduates, your families and friends, on behalf of Professor Jaume Casals, the rector of Universitat Pompeu Fabra. Congratulations then to all of you, and thank you for having chosen UPF and the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Our university is very proud to have contributed to the development of your talent here in Barcelona. 1 year ago, some of you were probably obtaining your student visa, legalizing your grade transcripts, getting your certificate of residence, or applying for the NIE, for example. Some of you were here in Catalonia, while others were working somewhere else. You work hard, and you have got your diploma, and now, after this year you have spent in Barcelona, you are going back to your countries, or you are going to other countries where different job positions are waiting for you. And let me tell you some words in Catalan, because you are a part of a Catalan university, an internationalized university, but based in Catalonia. Esperem que el vostre pas per la Universitat Pompeu Fabra us hagi servit i per millorar les vostres competències i per assolir els objectius que us veu plantejar. Esperem que la vostra estada hagi estat profitosa i que, més enllà de les activitats del màster que heu cursat, us hagueu sentit part de la comunitat UPF. La Universitat Pompeu Fabra és una bona universitat i tots els acadèmics i professionals ens esforcem perquè sigui així i perquè continuï millorant. Alguns rànquings ens situen com una de les millors universitats joves d'Europa i n'estem molt orgullosos, però no en tenim prou. Aspirem a ser la millor universitat possible i per això us necessitem, perquè els graduats i graduades de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra en sou els millors ambaixadors. Per això us demanem que no oblideu Barcelona i aquesta fantàstica universitat. Aquesta universitat i Barcelona, si ho voleu, sempre seran casa vostra. L'enhorabona.
Carla Gispert.
Thank you. Good afternoon, authorities, students, families, professors, everybody. I'm delighted and grateful for having the opportunity to participate in this nice, this emotive and well-deserved event, and do it as institutional representative of my university, the Autonomous University of Barcelona. I can see that you are many people, and from many different countries, that you have met here for sharing a mutual goal. I know that during this year you have worked together, you have fought and suffered and enjoyed it together, and this makes a special connection, a special link for the lifetime. Today, you celebrate that you have finished a very demanding and strict master studies, and you have completed with success. I think that you took an important decision when decided to enroll in a master of Barcelona Graduate School of Economics. Probably you apply the fundamentals of the decision theory, evaluating the different options and choose this master using a valid and scientific criterion. Congratulations, it was the right decision. Today, if you look back, you are more mature, more trained, more open-minded, more competent. Today, you are better prepared for holding high-level positions in companies and institutions, for exercise leadership, for improving the world through your work and talent. This implies a huge responsibility because many people will trust you. Your opinions and decisions will be heard and followed. But don't feel under pressure. You are well prepared for this, and with this preparation and your strong will, you'll overcome all the challenge you find and fulfill the expectations of our society. All that you have learned in the master will always remain inside you and will help you to fit in a world that changes faster and faster. Will help you to have criteria, to better evaluate your decisions and to progress individually as a professional. You already know that the job market is there, and the beginning is often complicated, it needs sacrifice, but all of you are strong people with deep foundations, and everything that you take now from this institution will remain with you forever. Finally, and again, congratulations for your success completing this degree, and we encourage you to keep in touch and feel part of a community that will always welcome and pay attention to you. Good luck and be happy.
And now what you are waiting for, the awarding of diplomas. John Rubio, our Communications and Engagement Manager, is going to...
Thank you, Ramon. There you are, huh? After 1 year, you made it, huh? We're super proud of you, and we want to congratulate you, all the staff at the GSE, everyone. Really, it's been a tough year, but we made it at the end. So let's see what has been the year for the program in economics. You choose your song, you send us some pictures, that's what we get. Only pictures of the library, right? Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate the students, the alumni of the program in economics. Yusuf, Agus, Marco Albori, Ignacio Gabriel Amaral, Mariel Bedoya, Laia Bosque. Luigi Maria Brilla, Giacomo Carlini, David Catalan, Joao Chacra, Nicholas Charlton. Agustina Colonna, Álvaro Corrales Cano, Alessandra De Luca, Georgi Atanasov Demirev, Aish Deshpande. Simranjit Dir, Anastasia Ergunova, Lauri Esala, Emilio Esguerra, Karen Espinoza Iglesias. Luigi Falasconi, Yameng Fan, Yakov Fritzis, Stephen Garavan, Bruno Eduardo Gonzaga. Moritz Graive, Jordi Gutiérrez, Sofía Jarguindegui, Alejandro Herrera, Caleb Hia. Tim Hildebrand, Shiki Ino, Javier Ibáñez de Aldecoa, Ágil Ilango, Jonas Jensen. Vanit Karlapalem, Philip King, Gleb Klivitkin, Clara Kubiak, Kelly Kuo. Daniel Ladino, Vivian Liu, Rubén López, Chanel Mater Shapiro, Brian Baduvara. Claudia Mesa Quadra, Alessandro Mogravi, Win Monroe, Marta Morazzoni, Noble Glenn Nolan. Narek Ohanian, Víctor Oliveira Cobucci, Francisca Sofía Palmas, Manel Pardo Fernández, Patricia Rose Paskov. Alessia Paulicelli, Laura Pérez, Joshua Powell, Milan Quentel, Olatz Roman. Rishav Roy, Giovanni Sartori, Eva Josephine Schoenwald, Dorota Schivitz, Christoph Semken. Jacob Shepard, Bonha Shin, Sofia Sierra, Joost Marinos Zithoff, Danila Smirnov. Corinne Stephenson Johnson, Andrea Lauren C., Hipólito Nicolás Talbot Wright, Chang Tang, Joel Terschur. Panagiotis Veneris, Andrea Vetruño, Orestis Bravosinos, Stephen Wingra, Simon Neumeier. Thank you very much, Economics. So, over. No, just kidding. Okay, don't look at that side of the table, okay? So, let's see how has been the year for the finance program. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, help me congratulate the students in the program in finance, Patrick Admaya, Carlos Iñaki Balboa, Cookie, Yukiao Chen, Lavinia Franco. Ana Laura García, Jacob Daniel Grappendal, Hannah Jaimison, Vigor Uzetovic, Sina Halali. Rina Kairani, Elkebir Lamrani, Jessica Lassita, Sergei Okun, Yushuan Peng. Arnau Pereira, Ari Peterson, Makar Pravosud, Maria del Mar Puigferrat, Rahul Raj. And finally, for finance, Gianmarco Ruzier, Yifan Xie, Yushu Zhou. Thank you, finance. Thank you, students. You made it. We're super proud of you. Welcome to the Alumni Network.
Thanks, Joan. Well, congratulations. You all graduated now. You got your masters. And it's also a good time now first of all, to thank your parents and all the people who have supported you. So, applause for them. But also to the faculty. Those are the ones who had been making you work for them, and that's very good. And last but not least, all the staff in the Barcelona GSE had made all these things possible. So in particular, let me thank Teresa Garcia Milà, the director, and all the team that she has, Ada Ferrer, Julian De Giovanni, and all the staff. They had done an excellent job every year, and they deserve all the credit. Thanks. And you might not have realized something that happened now. Now you have become members of the Alumni Associations. You are alumni of the Barcelona GSE. Congratulations. So let's have... So let's have a few words from an alumni, Ese Youngman, Economics 2017.
Good evening, everyone. Looking at you sitting where you are, where I was sitting just a year ago, reminds me of the excitement we had. So I'm going to keep my speech on asset pricing and real estate bubbles in Catalonia short and sweet. While I was thinking of what I can contribute to your special day, I went on a memory carousel. Last year was definitely one of the most challenging times for me. Coming from a non-economics background and having been out of school for a while, I was thrown right into the intimidating world of linear algebra and proof derivations. While my friends seemed to know what was going on, I spent the first couple of weeks being convinced that there must have been a mix-up at the admissions office. Only that could explain my presence at the bgse. I had no idea about what I was doing, and I felt like someone was going to expose me as a fraud at any second. Apparently, I was not that special, suffering from the psychological pattern, also known as the imposter syndrome. Every year when they ask the incoming class of Stanford Business School students, how many of you in here feel that you are the mistake admissions committee made? 2/3 of the students raise their hands immediately. Looking back, I now realize that the hardest part for me was feeling like a complete outsider. I had left my cocoon where I felt established and successful. I was a student again, and I can assure you it's not fun to be a student past a certain age. Luckily, I had good friends around me. They would support me by saying that my age made them want to calculate asymptotic distributions. So my context changed completely, and I thought I had to prove myself according to this new set of expectations to be considered successful. I went from a comfortable mindset of feeling competent to an unfamiliar mindset of feeling inadequate. Psychologist Carol Dweck says that there are two kinds of mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growing mindset. If you believe that your intelligence, talents, and creativity are carved in stone, you are more likely to see every situation as an evaluation where you need to validate yourself. Will I say the right thing? Is this going to make me stupid? Am I going to be rejected? In a fixed mindset, everything is quantitative. Given your fixed endowments, what will be the end product as measured by equally fixed standards of success? In order to maintain the image of being smart and talented, avoiding failure at all costs is the hallmark of a fixed mindset. The growth mindset, on the other hand, does not confine itself into the binary trap of success and failure. The main motivator here is not to prove how gifted you are, but to take on new challenges. It is about stretching yourself to learn new things and sticking to it, even when things don't go well and you might feel like an idiot. The good news is that these two mindsets are also not carved in stone. Dweck ran experiments with school-aged children where she first gave them a list of problems and then praised them on their performance. Half of these students were told, "Well done, you've done really well, you must have worked very hard." And the other half, they were told, "Wow, that's a very good score, you must be very smart." What she found is astonishing. The children who were primed as being smart were not keen to take on new and more challenging tasks. They were the ones who did solve more problems felt like failures when they scored lower marks. They did not enjoy the process at all, and most disturbingly, 40% of these kids lied about their scores when they had to report it privately. So this group of children were scared to damage their perceived image as being smart, and that fear overshadowed all else. This experiment stayed with me for two reasons. One, when we strive for approval rather than curiosity for learning, we get in our own way. And two, if success means being intelligent, then the second we feel like we are not that successful, it also means that we must be deficient in some way. We have many different definitions of success and yardsticks to gauge it. Some may measure success by the number of shining accolades received, like an army general's uniform. For others, success may simply be a matter of surviving that journey in the Mediterranean Sea in this increasingly hostile world. This relativity calls for us to personalize what success is and what it means to us. Because if we do have a more or less clear idea on this, it can help us stay true to ourselves. It can help us stay focused on the path we choose for ourselves, even when the context changes. They are like the landing lights on a runway. So you might be wondering what happened to me at the end. I thought I was going to fail, and now part of me wishes that I could tell you I failed to make the story a bit more interesting, but that was before I learned that GSE doesn't let you fail. It's all ended well once I got myself out of my way. In fact, I ended up liking it so much that I'm still around, working as a research analyst. So I'm still at the same building, different floor, pretty much doing what I was doing last year, but this time I can afford my rent. I will leave you with one insight that I gained from this experience. I will most probably not remember how to find corner solutions, but I now know that it's okay if your feathers get ruffled. If you're a big fish in a small pond, so to say, it is easy to feel good about yourself and how capable you are. However, if you choose to get out of your comfort pond and try something different, you might find yourself in a situation where you are now weaker, less capable, and may even face the possibility of failure. And that's where the magic happens. Class of 2018, I wish you many cocoons to leave behind and all the best luck in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you. But there is one thing that I'm sure you are aware, is that you have made new good friends this year, and friends are going to be for life. And that's another very important thing. So let's have one of you for a few words. Nicholas Carlton.
Hello, everyone. Before I begin, I want you to know that I've been given about the same amount of time to speak tonight as we had for our master's project, so it's going to be, so you know it won't be too long. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicholas. Along with the wonderful Ava, I had the excellent experience of being student representative for the economics program. I'm honored, Ava? I'm honored to have been asked to speak here today on behalf of the graduating class of 2018 in the Masters of Economics and Finance. As I'm sure you're tired of hearing congratulations from everybody, your parents, speakers, I'm just going to skip that right now and be a bit more efficient. I put in parentheses, pray to God people laugh a little. Since you didn't, I'll just move right on. There are countless people to thank for helping us to make it here today. On behalf of every student in finance and economics programs, I would like to begin by thanking the BGSE administration for their tireless work this year. Your help in the background, as well as in the foreground when answering our millions of questions via email, helped make sure that this year progressed with as few disruptions as possible. I would also like to thank our professors for their tireless dedication towards furthering our education. Offering extended office hours during our time of need, and always being within reach and quickly responding to our many emails were both a godsend to us, your stressed out students. We're perhaps less thankful for the increase in gray hair production that we've suffered this year. So thank you to you. I would also like to thank our families for helping us get through this grueling year. Thank you to you, the fathers and the mothers, the brothers and sisters, the aunts and uncles, and the significant others. Whether you were thousands of miles away in an awkwardly different time zone, always willing to FaceTime us when we needed a morale boost, or here in Barcelona, ready to provide a comforting hug when exams seemed like too much to bear, you were here for us. Thank you. Finally, I'd like to thank the Stata or MATLAB wizard, which every assignment group could always count on. You were the real MVP. For weeks now, I've been trying to figure out what I should say. I wanted to be able to stand here and provide you all with some life advice. but I don't have much experience myself like our distinguished guests. I wanted to offer you wisdom, but I'm neither the eldest nor the smartest among us. I would have loved to be able to tell you how best you can leverage your education and the time you spent here this year, but I don't like cliches or platitudes, so I'll stay away from that as well. Instead, what I can offer you all is the following: a short review of those things we learned while living in Barcelona and studying at the BGSE, as well as some brief personal thoughts spoken from the heart that I hope will resonate with many of you. When I first started this program back in September, I did so with a double major in finance and economics and a minor in mathematics under my belt. Displaying enough confidence to make Dunning and Kruger blush, I figured I had developed enough marketable skills and knowledge at the undergrad level that this year would be a breeze. I was wrong. Nearly a year's passed now since we all arrived in Barcelona and started our brush-up courses. In that year, we've had the opportunity to learn a lot. We learned how to play with economic and financial models. We learned the various pitfalls of econometric analysis. Some of us even learned the arcane art of pricing financial derivatives, or how to properly conduct a behavioral experiment. And when we write on our CVs that we're proficient with Stata, that won't be as much a lie anymore as it used to be. But all of this pales in comparison to a few other things we learned this year. First, even those who dislike beer learned to love it after tasting Barcelonian water. Second, getting to the library early is key if you don't want every seat to be taken by seemingly unclaimed notebooks and computers. Third, we learned that living in a city by the beach is only cool if you have time to visit those beaches. Fourth, we learned that even if exam season isn't leaving you with enough time to cook your own food, there's only so much rincon or kebab or Lidl cookies that your body can handle. I loved my time here. Even if I think about all the hours spent hidden away in the library or in one of the few group study rooms, when I could have easily been out enjoying the perfect Barcelona weather, I still wouldn't trade this past year for anything. What all those moments had that those sunny beaches didn't were you, the graduating class of 2018. Thank you, Luigi. In 40-plus weeks, which spanned dozens of different classes and TA sessions, hundreds of readings, thousands of hours of studying, and an uncountable amount of café con leches para llevar, it was comforting to know that I was not alone. When every week I found myself locked in an epic struggle, trying to decipher my own handwritten notes, I knew that I could always count on you for help. Whenever it would inevitably occur that I would be stuck on a particularly difficult problem, I knew that I could always count on you for help. And when it came time to study for the inevitable 100% final, I knew that I could always count on you for help. I don't know how different the culture is in other universities, but I can say that the amount of support and cooperation that every one of you displayed towards your fellow classmates simply amazed me. It seemed to me that there was a genuine willingness to learn together, but more importantly, to learn from each other. And so, for making this year such an incredible experience, for your patience, your friendship, and camaraderie throughout the year, I want to thank you all. As we conclude the year with this evening festivities, remember what you've learned. Remember the grit and determination which helped you through long days of studying and short, sleepless nights of worrying. Remember also the compassion and teamwork your colleagues displayed, which helped you succeed in this demanding program. And succeed you did. Graduating class of 2018, congratulations on your achievement. I wish you all the best of luck and hope that you carry that willingness to learn and to work with others with you wherever you go. Thank you all.
Thank you, Nicholas. That's great. Thanks. Just two more things. I'll tell you the second. The second is that we're going to have a drink downstairs to celebrate. But the first is for the parents and all the others that will come today, just to stand up and applaud to the graduates of 2018. You guys deserve it. You made it.